Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we are taking a look at VPCs and subnets. So a VPC is a logically isolated section of the AWS network where you launch your AWS resources and you choose a range of IPs using a CIDR range. So a CIDR range is an IP address followed by this net mask or submask, and that's going to determine how many IP addresses there are. And there's a bunch of math behind that, which we're not going to get into. But anyway, so here is an architectural diagram just showing a VPC with a couple subnets. So subnets is a logical partition of an IP network into multiple smaller network segments. And so you're essentially breaking up your IP ranges for VPCs into smaller networks. So just thinking about cutting up a pie, okay? So subnets need to have a smaller CIDR range to the VPCs represent for their portion. So /24 is actually smaller, which is interesting. The higher the number gets, the smaller it gets. And so this would allocate 256 IP addresses. And so that's well smaller than 16, okay? We have the concept of a public subnet. So this is one that can reach the internet, and a private subnet, the one that cannot reach the internet. And these are not strictly enforced by AWS. So the idea is that when you have a subnet, you can just say, don't by default assign publicly assignable IP addresses, but it's totally possible to launch an EC2 instance into your private subnet and then turn on the IP address. So you got to do other things to ensure that they stay private or public, okay?